Hello enemies and book lovers, my name is Ash and welcome back to my channel. I haven't been posting much. My boyfriend got really sick and I think he got bronchitis, and then I didn't get sick, which is great, but I got depression instead. So that kind of put a huge damper on my posting. I have anxiety and depression. I've dealt with it since I was in middle school and it sucks, but I'm doing a little bit better now. It happens all the time. Constantly. I've been dealing with it since I was a kid, so don't worry about it. I'm all right. This is my February TBR, and I'm going to be showing you what my Sims chose and then what I'm going to choose. And so this month I had planned to read Robin Hobb. I read Assassin's Apprentice last year. I planned on continuing the Farseer trilogy. Unfortunately, I probably won't be actually continuing Robin Hobb for the first half of the year because I just have so many books I need to read, and those books are huge. I probably shouldn't have started Robin Hobb when I did. So I'm going to put a little bit more of a hold on that. So we will not be seeing Robin Hobb this month, but I'm going to be replacing the 700-page book that I had planned and replace it with some Black authors or other authors of color. I want to diversify my books and my reading, and I do want to do that in 2023. I like getting through my backlist, and my backlist is very white. So I wanted to, change it up this month, obviously, for obvious reasons. So I'm going to be choosing some of the books I had planned originally, continue my series and the read-alongs I have this month, and then I'm also going to obviously read from Black authors and stuff like that. Yeah, it took me a little bit of time to juggle books around, but I finally got to a TBR for February and I'm really excited about it. So let us go on to my Sims TBR portion of the video and then get back to when I get all my books and I'm ready to talk about what they are. So let's go and do that. All right, welcome back to my TBR game of every single month. Mitchell, are you okay? Welcome back to my TBR video. I'm really excited to be doing this again. I'm nervous though. February is a busier month, so not much has happened since the last time. The only thing that's actually happened is Karina and Mitchell are a couple now, so they are boyfriend and girlfriend, and he's currently talking to Mirabelle. I'm gonna take down the decorations, but I did kind of put up decorations for Christmas, even though in The Sims it's currently autumn. I was trying to get to winter, but it didn't work very well for me, so I just really had bad time management. Karina is also learning gardening. I feel like that's just on brand for her for some reason. So she's been doing some gardening. That's a tree. That's why it's over there. Her and Mitchell have been doing really well together. The cats have been doing well. And so yeah, let's just get to the, books part of the video now. And I am a little bit nervous about this. I'm hoping I can get new prompts. We'll see. I think I have 16 either prompts or genres right now. So I'm nervous. But we're gonna go and we're gonna start and let's do it. Let's go. Let's see what she ends up reading. Will she actually read anything in this room? No, she went to the living room. I think that's just her favorite room. Let's see what the first one is. Please be easy on me. Please be easy on me. A children's book. So this is a YA book or a middle grade book. Okay, you know what? This isn't bad. I think I can work with this. I will be hopefully finding a YA or middle grade written by a Black author, and that is my plan for this prompt. All right, so we're telling her to read something again. This is a new prompt. Ooh, I got a poll pick. Okay. Have others on social media platforms decide 2 to 4 books to read. So I have to choose 2 to 4 books, and I have to have people choose between those books as what to read. This is going to be good for me. This is pretty much anything that I want, although I'm not going to be cheating and just choose like 3 books I already planned to read, because that would be really bad. By the time you watch this would already have happened, so the poll pick would have already happened, unfortunately. Mirabelle, you should not be on the counter. She loves being on top of the fridge. It's like one of her favorite spots. Well, all right, Mitchell. Goodbye. You have one more. You can't do this. You have one more. Where is Fitz? Oh, he's so cute. He looks like a rain cloud. Okay, sorry, got distracted. Yes, here, read something. Last prompt. We're gonna see what she decides for my last one. If she's not nice to me. What is that? I got candy cover. I am so excited. Pick a random candy and read a book associated with that color on the cover. This is inspired by current chapter. He chooses M&Ms and they correlate to certain prompts, but for me, I'm just doing it based off the color of the book. So I'm actually pretty happy about that. Although, like I said, if I could, I might actually have to, integrate 2 of these prompts into, hello? I wish that happened to me, just random money. I might have to integrate 2 of these prompts into one, so I might have like the candy cover, so like a certain color, be based off of my YA. I think I'm gonna do that, or else I'm probably not gonna be able to finish all these books. So I'm going to be putting my poll up today and waiting 24 hours to see what the results are. And then I'm going to be looking for a YA book and pulling a color out and seeing what color that's supposed to be. And I'm excited about it. I actually might do that part right now, choose the color of the cover, because if I don't do it now, I have to do it on the day of, and I can't do that because I need to have specific books. All right, now let's choose a color for the cover with my candy, and I'm really excited about it. And let's go. Hey, the quality is a bit worse because I filmed this twice and hated the way the lighting was. So I'm just gonna say I'm gonna do it in the front. Oh wait. I'm gonna film it in the front. That way I can see myself in the lighting in the room. The lighting is fine, I'm gonna go with it. The last 2 were horrible. And so I just wanted to re-record them. So I've eaten 2 of these already. I've eaten 2. And I'm not complaining, but at the same time, like, I wanted to actually do this and film it properly. So we're gonna do this one more time, and this time I will not mess it up because I can see myself. The quality is a bit lower, but just for this portion of the video, the rest should be fine. We have our gummy bears right here. They're the little mini gummy bears, and I'm going to be choosing a color. There's 2 colors that are swapped. I think the purple is black. There is like a lighter shade of pink that is purple, and then I think one of the really, really light shades of yellow is more of a white for my covers because they don't have black or white, and I like reading a lot of books with black and white on the covers, so I decided to be a bit nice to myself. Let's see what I get. I'm not gonna bury my fingers into it, even though it's only mine, but you know, still. We're gonna be choosing one. What is it? What is it? Ooh, a really, really light shade of pink. Well, 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 what do you know? So I have like a thing where I made, this is so weird, but like I made, I organized them all so there was an even amount inside of the container. And then when I actually made it like this, I wrote down what colors associated with what. So purple and light pink are the only ones that are actually swapped. This color is actually purple because there was too many pinks. I think there's like 3 shades of pink. So yeah, this is going to be purple. So I have to have purple on the cover. This could be easy. It just depends. Actually, there's something I might actually know what I might want. I'll see. But yeah, this is the little one, a little pink. And yeah, this is gonna be purple for the cover. But as long as there's purple on it, that will count. Now I'm gonna eat them and go on to the TBR portion of the video. So let's go do that. Alright, so Karina has chose the genres for my books this month. I think I'm going to, like I said, put 2 of these together because I just realized like I had too many books in January, and I did read. I don't know, I haven't actually finished it. It's still January, so I'm on track of finishing them in time, but my goodness, I read way too much in January, and I don't want to put too much pressure on myself in February. I plan on getting a job, which if I could get one without my health getting in the way, I would be so excited about it. I'm hoping I can get my driver's test because I am working toward getting a license finally. I'm 28 years old and I'm finally getting to that. A lot of things I want to get to in February, and so I don't know if I'll be able to get to all of these books, but I have a few on here. So for February right now, I have 7 books on my TBR, and let me tell you what those are and what prompts they fulfill. So the first book is not going to be one that is filling anything up. This is not a prompt, this is not a readathon, this is just something I'm going to be reading on my own, and that is Shadows of Self by Brandon Sanderson. This is the second book in the Mistborn Era 2 from Brandon Sanderson. I read the first one in January. You will pretty much be seeing the rest of the series throughout the months. I will be reading these every single month until I finish them. So this is the second out of the 4, and my boyfriend and I are reading them together, and he is like dying for me to get to this book. He finished the first one in 2 days. He reads so fast, it's not even fair. This is following Wayne and his friend Wax, and it's like a very Western cowboy steampunk. It's just very different in comparison to the first era. The first era was 300 years prior to this, and so we are following the events of what happens after the end of the first era. And the first era I think I liked more, but I'm still enjoying this series. I will talk more about it in my January wrap-up, but I think my boyfriend's actually almost liking this more than Era 1, which is blasphemy to me. Like, I haven't heard really many people say they like the second era more. Some people even hate it. I don't hate it, but to say that the first one is not as good as this one is a little bit like hurtful to me, and I might have to break up and getting now. I'm just kidding. Excited to get to this, and I am looking forward to seeing what happens. Obviously, I can't really say much about it. There's not really anything really to say what the series is about because I don't really even know what the plot is exactly. The first book just builds up into it, so I don't really know much about it, but I'm looking forward to seeing what happens and continuing it and seeing if I still like it. I think it gets better later on in the series, but for now, I'm enjoying it. We'll see if I like it even more as I go. Okay, so the next one is going to kill me, but I'm kind of excited about it. kind of, I think I am at least. That is A Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. This was gifted to me by Jessica or Homestyle Hearth, and I wanted to read it right away because I think if I'm gifted a book, I just feel like I should read it faster, just because like it's kind of rude to just keep it on my shelf for like 5 years, which I do that to my own books. So I'm going to be getting to this in February, and I do know slightly what it's about. I mean, I know what the tale of Achilles is in Greek mythology. I know what happens kind of vaguely. It is kind of like a love story with like a tragedy in it, and I do, like I said, know what it's about vaguely, but I don't want to get too, you know, into it. I kind of want to be surprised. Most people know how it's going to end, but I think that it's still going to be impactful. I've heard people say that they know the ending and they still like cried and stuff, so I'm hoping I can like it. And I know this is like a huge popular book, and I've never read it my entire life, and you know what? I think I'm about to do that in February. I like a lot of different mythologies, so I'm really looking forward to getting to this, and I'm hoping it will impact me as much as it has other people. Sometimes if I know a book's gonna make me cry, I don't cry because I just expect it so much that it like doesn't hit as hard, so I'm hoping I'll be wrong. And if I do, you know, I might do a reading vlog on this. I might do a reading vlog on this, and if I cry, if I cry, that would be entertaining, so I might just end up doing that. We'll see. The next one I already kind of talked about in what I plan on reading for the year, but of course I will mention it again, and that is The Blade Itself by Joe Abercrombie. This is the first book in like the First Law trilogy, along with like the other plethora of books that he has within this kind of world. There is a book club, I think done by Becca, where we read pretty much an entire series over the span of like a few years. I think one every 2 months we read. So January, February is this book, and then the March is the live show. March, April is the next book, and then May is the next live show. So every 2 months we read a book, and I wanted to read this closer to the live show because if I read this in January, I would have forgot a decent amount of the details. I'm not very good at memorizing a lot of what I read, unfortunately. I do plan on writing a document for this and writing down characters, the descriptions of the characters. If anyone dies or anything like that, I will update that every time that happens. I really like doing that for my fantasy books. I do that for a lot of my books actually, like especially like the high epic fantasies. I write down characters and who they are. I've been doing it with Mistborn, so that way I can keep track of who's who and, you know, kind of tie in the Cosmere and stuff like that. This has been a series and a trilogy that I've been wanting to read for a long time, and I'm finally going to be getting to it. It's like the perfect time to do it. There's a book club for it. Perfect. What I really know about this is that it is a grim, dark fantasy that follows a lot of characters that are kind of like, you know, morally, I wouldn't even say morally gray. It's kind of just characters that you know do wrong, but you kind of can't help but to like them. This is more character driven, at least from what I've heard, more than plot driven. Maybe that changes throughout the trilogy or the series, but at least from what I've heard, Joe Abercrombie does a really good job with his characters, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how he writes them. I did read the Half a King trilogy. Those are like his YA books, and I really liked them. The second book was my favorite, and so I'm hoping I will also like this one. This is also something that I forgot to mention in my TBR video. The Orillium adventure is something that you do every single month for the whole year. I think the only months that you don't have to do it are the months that the Orillium-a-thon, or whatever the Readathon's called, April and August. So April is like the big Orillium like readathon that happens, and so that month there is no prompt, and in August there's no prompt, but from January to December, other than those months, there is a prompt for every single month. The first month I forgot to mention was I did the Inheritance Cycle by Christopher Paolini to finish a series, so I'll put up like what the thing looks like and show you what I mean. And then this one will be nothing but words on the cover. It was either this or buildings on the cover. There is some things on this cover in the background. I'm just gonna say though, it's mostly just the title, okay? That's reaching. I kind of thought like there's technically buildings on the back of this, like they're in a building and you can see like the archways, okay? It's something, okay? I already had this whole TBR mapped out, and I couldn't put another book on it. I just couldn't do it. So this is just going to be nothing but words on the title, and like I said, there's a little bit in the background, but I think there's no objects or anything, so I think it's okay. It fits for me, okay? It fits for me. So next is going to be my Sim's choices. So my Sim chose for me to do a candy cover, which was purple, chose to do a poll pick, and also a children's book. So I decided to take at least 2 of these prompts and add them together, and then one of them will be separate. So this will be 2 different books instead of 3. Like I said, it would have been too many books this month for me. For my poll pick, I will actually show you what happened. I put on an Instagram, I think about a week ago, and I put up 4 different choices. I would love to tell you all the names of them, but my phone has the photo and I forgot to transfer it to my tablet. So there were 4 choices, and it was very, very, very close between 2 books. So Witchlings and Beast of Prey were tied neck and neck. Beast of Prey always had one above though the entire time until the day was over, and then I rechecked what the results were, and it coming up on top last second was Witchlings. So for poll pick and candy cover for the purple on the cover, I'll be choosing Witchlings by Claribel A. Ortega. This is a book written by a Dominican author. One of my favorite color palettes is pastels, and so like this cover just makes me so happy because it's just beautiful. This is a middle grade book, so this will be covering 2 proms, poll pick as well as purple on the cover. There's a lot of purple. I mean, there's not a whole lot of purple, but like there's enough that I think it's okay to use. I'm just gonna tell you what it's about very vaguely. We're following 12-year-old Seven Salazar, who is really hoping to be placed in a certain coven alongside her best friend, and she is desperately hoping that she does not become a spare, which is a leftover witch with lesser powers, looked down upon by everyone else. So on the night of the ceremony, instead of being placed in the one that she would like to be in, or the other 5 that she could possibly be in, she is placed into being a spare, which is the one that she really did not want to be in. So in order to keep their powers, because if they don't, they will lose them, they must defeat the dreaded Night Beast. And if they don't, they will lose their powers for good. And if they do, they will be able to seal their powers and keep them. So this is just a story about 3 characters. I'm assuming these 3 that are spares, and they are ones that people kind of look down upon. Sounds really, really cute. This is a middle grade, and I don't really read middle grades. If I don't like it, I'm gonna give it as best as I can of a shot. And I know this is not my age demographic, so I'm not going to hate on this book. I never ever think that middle grade is bad at all, obviously, but I am hoping that I will like it regardless, and I am looking forward to it. And I really hope I like it because I want to get more into middle grade books. And this is a pretty short book. It's only 350 pages, and the font is big. Like, this is really big font, so I think it'll be really easy. I could probably read it in like 2 days. And also telling you a bit about it because I haven't seen this on BookTube before. I saw one person reading it recently actually, but other than that, I haven't seen anyone really talk about it. And for the next one, this will be my children's book, but I'm going to be putting it under YA. And because it was so close, and also this is a book that I've wanted to read since like before it even released, I'll be choosing Beasts of Prey by Ayana Gray. This was a different cover to the one I put on my Instagram, but it is the exact same book, so it works. Yeah, this one is something that I've been wanting to read since before it even released. Is like a magical zoo kind of thing. Like, I love animals. I wanted to be a zookeeper when I was a kid, although now I see that there are issues with zoos. So I have like mixed feelings about zoos, but point is, I love animals. I went to college for animal care. I love it. So this is something I should have read when it came out. I kept putting it off, but I think I'm gonna finally be getting to it in February. Ooh, look at that map. That map is gorgeous. Also, the author is gorgeous with them. She adopted a rhino and named him Apollo. Not literally adopted. You know, like when you adopt an animal in the wild, you don't actually adopt them. It's still cute. I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure there's an actual zoo in this book, but there is something called the Night Zoo, and so I'm hoping, okay? I'm hoping. There's a person that works at the Night Zoo, and there's stuff goes on around that. Honestly, I'm very bad at recapping things. I just read it, and I still can't really tell you much, but I know that the main character goes into this like magical jungle, and I just like the vibe of this. I like the magic. I like the zoo. The fact that they're going to like this jungle, this flourished jungle that might be deadly. It sounds like a good time, okay? It sounds like a great time. So I'm gonna finally be getting to this. It's YA. I'm also kind of outgrowing YA, but I'm hoping that I'll still enjoy it, even though that's like a thing. But this will be my children's pick, putting it into YA of my Sims choice. I had to cut out so many siren noises because I live right next to a hospital. And so this happens all the time. The next book I'm actually going to be choosing is a nonfiction. I'm going to be listening to this through my Libby app as an audiobook. I think I like listening to audiobooks only really in nonfiction format. I don't really like listening to fiction on audiobook. I've just tried. It doesn't work for me very well. I might try to get into it. I don't know. But for now, I'm going to be listening to this as a nonfiction on audiobook. And that is Blackbirds in the Sky by Brandy Colbert. Something that I did not learn about in school. I believe that it might be because it's from in America. I'm going to assume it's from America. I don't really know anything about this. I think that is a pretty, I feel like we should learn way more about this type of thing in school. This happened almost exactly 100 years ago, 1921, so it's almost 100 years ago since this happened. This is Blackbirds in the Sky, the story of legacy of the 1921 Tulsa race massacre. This is something that recounts the most deadly and destructive act of racial violence in American history. All I really know from what I've looked at, I didn't want to I wanted to make sure I listened to this before I really talked too much about it. It is just a bunch of it's a white mob that went to a black neighborhood and brought a bunch of different things with them to destroy their houses and their businesses, and I'm pretty sure that people lost their lives in this as well. And I'm going to be listening to this on audiobook and learning about it. Like I said, I'm not American, I'm Canadian, but like this stuff happens. It doesn't really matter where it is, it still happens to humans, and we are humans, and it's just messed up. Okay, I swore I have to cut out that swear, sorry. This is the kind of stuff that makes me really upset, and the fact that it happened 100 years ago, but this is something that I can see happening again. Not because I wanted to, but because people. There's just people out there that are just... I'm going to be getting to this, and I'm going to listen to an audiobook, and I'm going to learn, because schools don't really teach us very well sometimes, and so I'm looking forward to learning about something that I never even knew about. I wanted to listen to something for Black History Month that was actually like something from what actually happened. I'm hoping I can learn more about Canadian history and the racism behind that as well, so I'm hoping over time I can kind of educate myself. I actually really like to learn about things about the past and the history of different countries, especially ones that are close to me, so I like to learn about that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm going to be listening to this and learning about things that I've never really knew were even a thing. So because I didn't want to give myself leeway and be nice to myself, that would have been around 2,300 pages in the month of February, and I think that's actually a pretty decent amount of pages for me. But I read around 2,000, how much did I read in January? I read around the same amount. I read 2,600 pages in January, and I thought to myself, if I want to see if I could push myself, I don't know if I'm going to do this for sure, but if I want to push myself for February and I want to read a little bit more, I might actually try picking up one more book, and it's unlikely. I already have 6 books, and I think that's a decent amount. I think 5 to 7 is my comfort zone, and right now I'm already at 6, but I added, just in case I can get to it, I added the next Stephen King book. I'm reading this chronologically, and the next one that I'm going to be getting to chronologically after Night Shift, I believe, the short story collection. After that one, I'm going to be getting to The Long Walk by Stephen King. This is one I've been really wanting to get to so badly. I've been anticipating this one. I've heard so much about it, and I think that it's something that I would really enjoy. It's more of like a thriller than a horror, I guess. This is a story about a group of young men. I'm not sure if it's only men or not, but it's just a group of young people who, in order to get like a large sum of money, or just like a large prize, I'm assuming it's money, a large sum of money, they have to walk along this one like long road, and they have to walk and walk, and the last person standing will be the one that gets this prized money. I think it might be publicized, maybe it's like entertainment type of thing, I'm not too sure. Like, it reminds me of like the Hunger Games, so I'm not sure if it's something that is publicized or not, but I do know that if you slack, or if you're too far behind, or if you end up giving up and you can't walk anymore, something bad happens to you. It just sounds very interesting to me. I feel like the ending is going to be weird. Stephen King does that sometimes, so I'm looking forward to seeing if this is something I will like. I haven't really read many of his books. I think I've read maybe like 6 or 7 of his books right now, and I'm looking forward to seeing something that might be a little bit different than what I've seen so far. So this is one I'm really anticipating, and I got to it because there's only like 370 pages on this book, so it's a potential for me to actually complete. But if I don't get to it this month, that's fine. I'm not going to punish myself for it, but I'm really hoping I can get to it. But I will see, I guess. For March, I'm going to be doing my wrapped books. I'm going to be picking one starting next month, so I'm really looking forward to getting to that in March and onward. The only months I won't be doing my unwrapping of the books will be in May, because I'm going to a huge convention, and I'm going to be meeting my first nephew, because my sister is giving birth to her second and last child. So I'm not going to be probably reading almost hardly anything that month. I'm going to be probably busy for like a week of that month altogether. Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting time. May is the only month I probably will be skipping out on that, but other than that, I will be doing it every month for the rest of the year. And also some months I will be unwrapping too, which is scary. I think I'm gonna be doing my own like vlog video for when I do that. So yeah, something to look forward to in the next few months. So I'm looking forward to it as well. So with that, I think that's all I'm going to be getting to in February. Like I said, 6 I'm going to be trying to prioritize the most, and then maybe the 7th book if I can. So as usual, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all had a great reading month in January, and I hope you're doing okay. The new year started. It started off great for me. January started off amazing, and the middle of the month it went downhill. It was like, fresh start, fresh year, and then all of a sudden my depression hit, and I'm like, well, never mind. But I'm doing better now, so that's all that really matters, I guess, right now. And yeah, so I hope you're all doing well. Hope your mental health is all right, and hope you had a great reading month, because we like to read, and it's nice to be able to get a few books done. I appreciate you all. I can't wait to see you all soon, and I'm just glad that I have this community, because without you, I don't know. I just don't know. I feel like the book community is like glue, and I just like, it just helps me stick together a little bit. So I appreciate you all, and the community and viewers that don't comment. I also really appreciate you so much. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you all again soon. Goodbye, everyone.